Before kick-off in this game, we will pause to remember two legends of Cronulla-Sutherland Rugby League after the passing this week of Cliff Watson and Bob Abbott.
Sadly, over the past 2 weeks, we lost a founding father of the Cronulla club and one of the greatest players to ever represent the Sharks with the passing of former administrator Bob Abbott and the 1973 Grand Final team member and Team of the Half-Century inductee Cliff Watson. Could you please be upstanding for a moment's silence to honour the memory of these two outstanding Sharks? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
On the night, the Sharks host their old boys reunion, a fitting show of respect for the two men who meant so much to the club and its formation and its rise to the ranks of premiership contenders in Cliff Watson and Bob Abbott. Tepai Moiroa is back, having missed the past 2 games for the Parramatta Eels with a concussion. They rested him last week during the win against the West Tigers. Jaden Brayley was outstanding, perhaps made the tackle that saved the win the back end of the game last week against the Gold Coast, and we're underway. Third and final game on this Super Saturday live on Fox League. Matt Moylan makes the catch off the kickoff. In front of a building crowd, the Sharks will begin at the southern end of Southern Cross Group Stadium. Here's Matt Pryor. Sharks have had a virus again go through the team this week. Jason Bakuya hospitalised and out of the 17. And Pryor, of course, hospitalised last week and made that dash to play against the Gold Coast, and then immediately returned to Sydney as Andrew Fafita gets the first penalty of the game.
Need a response there.
Cronulla the first real chance to go on the attack. Chad Townsend finds the line. His attacking kicking game last week left a bit to be desired. I think it's fair in saying it was a very mixed night for the halfback. We'll see how he fares perhaps in this opening set. Got it here, Paulo 30 out from the Eels line. Brayley waiting at dummy half. He's been outstanding. Now Pryor. Good tackle there by Kaiser Pritchard. What a game he had in that narrow, hard-fought win against the Tigers last week. The Fafita! Straight down Main Street, still going, denied in the end, and losing the ball. They'll say it was stripped out. What a charge!
He's been in such great form the last 2 weeks as Andrew Fafita has really stood up and led this forward pack. But he's got that subtle change of speed too, the great offload. They were pushing up in close support, but ominous signs for the Sharks early.
And the option of taking the 2, they tap it and go. And it is Paulo who'll play it here in front of the post. Brayley waiting dummy half. Townsend out on the right-hand side. They go to Pryor instead. They just try and force their way over next to the uprights. And Pryor, like the feeder before him, has gone close.
Held up.
I'm going to say he was held up in goal. Bring it back out to the 10. Likely to crack them through the middle, don't they?
We've got the big shift out to the left again as well.
Here's Moylan off the back of Paulo. Comes to Holmes, cut out ball for Sasaya Feki doing some dancing. Has missed out in recent weeks with Hendrick Lee on the right wing. Valentine Holmes stepping from dummy half. His 3rd crack at fullback this season. He began as the number 1 back in round 1. He had a game also against Melbourne in round 4. He's gone between Holmes, Dugan and Moylan so far this season. The 5th time they've had to change fullback. No number 1 this year. Between the 3 of them has played 3 games in a row in the fullback jumper. Townsend, he goes to Moylan. Wide, here's a chance, a 3-on-2. Good hands, Latelli, and Feki scores on his return. Tremendous hands. And with all the pressure in the middle of the field, they open some space on the edge.
And that's the way they wanted to go on their first shift after the tap was taken. numbers. Look, great ball from Matty Moylan. Wade Graham, that man, the skill he possesses, whether to play short, long, he can kick in behind, he can offload. Therefore, the defence, they just stand their ground because they're unsure what he's going to do. He just fires it through the hands. And Bevan French just gets caught out. He should have held his ground, waited for Michael Jennings to get there, just got caught in no man's land. And Latelli combines with Fecky. They have been quiet on that left edge this year. Well, the ball has gone to the right edge, but when they get it right, they look good on that left edge.
Yeah, the long passing, the shifting there of the Sharks, and the best thing, I guess, was all those passes out in front, bringing players onto the ball. They've got good speed on their flanks, the Sharks, and they used it to their advantage there. Latelli, a very much underrated player, and Fecky getting a try, and he's back in the Sharks jersey. That was a terrific try from the Sharks.
He likes scoring against the Eels as well now. 7 tries in 5 and a bit games against them, including a double in his last game against them here at Shark Park back in round 17 of 2016. Sharp opening for a team that struggled last week to create chances and finish them off. Couldn't have looked more slick with that big long sweep to the left-hand side.
And it was off the back of Andrew Fafita's hard running. Ernie's side 2 penalties. That got it in the field positioning. But more importantly, they've capitalised on it.
Fafita got them on the front foot, didn't he? Fryer looked likely to go across and score as well. Now Chad Townsend, who kicked the field goal that got them the win against the Gold Coast. A 10-9 victory. Hooking it back. It looks good. You can't do much more than that. They score in their first real possession of the game and make it 6-0. The big boys in the middle, though, set it up for them, Hodjo.
Sure did. This man on screen right now, Andrew Fafita, really made his intention quite clear in this first half. Just his barnstorming run. Look at that brute strength and power, and obviously a nice little finesse here on the left-hand side with the nice little hands, and Fecky in the corner. So well done to the Sharks. Good start.
On my whistle, guys. On my whistle.
Been a good touch, hasn't he? You mentioned Gaz, Fafita. Very strong with the ball. Without the ball, his defence is very good as well for the Sharks.
Shallow kickoff here against Moylan. Interesting tactic from Parramatta. Not much breeze to speak of here, just a light southerly. As we see at this venue throughout the wintertime in particular. It's just a gentle breeze. Graham playing. Fafita. Some metres after contact. He'll play at 5 on his own side of halfway as Brayley waits. Jumps out from dummy half. And Alvaro got square at marker. Loses the ball though in the contact. Flipped up there by Matangi to Jennings. And take it back to the middle of the field. And Parramatta have it for the first time in the game. Position to begin with as well. It's Terapo. He was tremendous last week against the Tigers. His carries were very good. In fact, it was Manu followed by Penny Terapo. Pritchard waits. Pass Matangi. Norman on this right-hand side. Moses waiting as well. Won't wait too long, you'd imagine, before he bombs away and tests out Valentine Holmes. He's had his issues under the high ball. Short ball from Moses from Moiroa. Moses struck them beautifully last week against the Tigers. They're really battling amongst the back 3. Tungy to play it inside the 10. The Eels head back as Norman tries to grub it through the line. Townsend will ricochet off his body. He cleans it up. And the Sharks hang on.
Well, he did well there, didn't he? Townsend, great use of the feet, trapping that ball and managing to keep it in front of him. Really important play there from the Sharks halfback. Another set of 6 there. He's built trouble for the Sharks.
Telly coming in for a carry. Speed as well. He gets back to his feet quickly, and now there's some space on this left-hand side. Holmes chiming in. Always a sight of those flashing fluoro pink boots. He was at speed then. Graham for Moylan to put it up. Going to go with a floating no spinner. Townsend coming through. Don't know that he got a touch on it. Gutherson cleans up anyway, and Parramatta have it.
I think if Matt Moylan had his time again, he'd just want to put that one down in the corner. They had all the momentum, and that kick pretty much went backwards. It allows Parramatta to get on the front foot a little bit. Kaiser Pritchard receiving some attention.
Thanks, Andrew. Got a transition.
He put his body on the line time and time again last week against the Tigers.
Sorry, Kaiser.
This was a bit of a knock.
One of their top 3 players last week. I think he's got a bit of a knock there, but also when the referee was coming back, he tripped over the trainer, or the orange shirt for Parramatta team. So there's plenty going on out there.
The trainer at the moment is all that convinced about the condition. Kaiser Pritchard, who's just going to trail along behind the play for the moment. The Eels get a penalty. That'll help Pritchard just compose himself. There he is, still in the hands of the trainer. Looks like he's going to get the all clear for the moment.
They don't come much tougher than Kaiser Pritchard, pound for pound.
Well, some of his tackles last week, he just put his body on the line.
That was a big factor in that win. Number 2 on the trot for Parramatta. 2-6 after losing their opening 6 games straight. Matangi, he goes straight. They play it here just outside the Sharks 30. It's terrible. Running towards first ball. Good tackle there, appreciated by the locals here in the Shire as Norman at the line finds Moses. Gutherson, in fact. Tell you what, those Eels jumpers with the right numbers, the yellow hoops around the back, don't do you too many favours. Like the one was a 7 just then as Alvaro heads towards the uprights. 5 metres out. Pritchard looking to the left-hand side. That was a Takarangi. He couldn't hang on to it. It was the crash ball, and it will be a knock-on against Parramatta.
Just a changeover out 10.
The space that opened up for Corey Norman just to put it in behind there and build some pressure. I know their left edge is so prominent of the Parramatta Eels. That is their go-to edge. But the left edge to attack of the Cronulla Sharks is a far better option. They concede way more tries and there's a lot more indecision. Jesse Ramian, for such a young age, and only in his 6th game of first grade, he does read defence quite well.
Sharks go to work from their own end. Player here playing it just outside the 30. Here's Paul. 4 for Feeder. What's happening this time around, although he rarely dies with the ball. He was cornered like that, gave it off to Moylan, who looks back to the right-hand side for Capewell. He's a big body. His role at the moment with Graham on the left-hand side. Townsend kicking for the sideline. Won't have the angle on it. It'll be Gutherson to pick it up and bring it back. Getting back there quickly was Bevan French, who scored that acrobatic try last week against the Tigers. They begin 25 out from their own line. Smith, Gasnier, Walters and Hodges will crew tonight to bring you this one live on Fox League. Pritchard. There's Moses. Jennings to play it. His own side of halfway. Now Pritchard is back and running this time. Testing them out and getting them a penalty.
10 metres.
Yeah, nice work, Kaiser Pritchard. Every time he ran the football last week against the Tigers, he looked dangerous, particularly when he straightens up. It opens up so much space behind the ruck. They're just a little bit, carrying a little bit of fatigue early. Obviously, all that possession early to the Cronulla Sharks took a little bit out of their tank. They haven't had the normal line speed they've started the game with in defence for the last 2 weeks. Let's see what set plays they can put on here.
The run of Moiroa. Here is Moses going to Morgan. Get the serve. Quick hands will take the Rangi. French, he will dive in again. Another somersault, another try for Bevan French.
A sweeping play from the Eels to their left edge. Has come up trumps again, and that man there, what a finisher he is for the Eels. Run this play several times tonight. It was good timing there from Norman, taking the ball into the line. Look at the hands there from Takarangi, and French still had plenty to do. Got away from the tackle of Townsend. That's a terrific Eels try.
The work there of Corey Norman just to take that arc and straighten up the decoy run of Manu Ma'u. That's what opens up that space. Yes, it was beautiful hands from Bad Trakarangi, but that right there, going into the line, playing nice and straight. Clint Gutherson does well. Bevan French, so strong for such a slender build and lightning quick, we know that. But again, the left edge of the Parramatta Eels, they strike again.
He likes that dive roll, doesn't he, on scoring? He just loves it. It's just a natural thing for him to do.
He didn't even need to do a dive and a somersault just then.
No, but why not when you get over the line?
He can't help himself.
Yeah, it looked really sharp at movement from the Eels on that occasion, and they've got to play to their strengths, the Eels, and he is a strength for them on that wing. He's just a try scorer. He knows where that line is. He knows how to get the ball over the line.
So good Moses with a good day with the boot last week at ANZ Stadium against the Tigers. Difficult one here under this light breeze in the opening half. Much improved goal kicker. In recent times, this one though, he overcompensated perhaps for the breeze. He misses to the left-hand side and stays 6-4 to the Sharks. Hodjo.
Yeah, look, great try. That's his second try of the season, Bevan French. And Gaz, you're 100% right. The work of Corey Norman and just the ability to straighten up, hold that defender, just opens up so much space on the edge. And Kevin, you're right too, mate. Bevan French can find the try line.
Yeah, he loves scoring tries, and
Same on the left edge.
I think he's going to get a couple tonight, Hodjo, I think. That's the feeling I get.
Early call from the Queensland coach. Double. Making Bevan French. Happy to hear that.
Tinga, that's in Queensland too, isn't it, Kevin?
Well, it can be for you.
There's ever-expanding borders.
Yeah, they do go everywhere.
Boy, they get wide this time of the year as well. We're in build-up phase. Here's Alvaro. How are you handling the build-up so far, Kevin?
It's been good. Yeah, we've got a couple of injuries to some key players, but still a few weeks away yet to announce our team, which is going to be another very exciting Origin series. Everyone looking forward to it, no doubt.
Lots of players in the mix. Left wing in particular. Some of them putting their hand up as well. Here is Norman. The kick in behind Valentine Holmes. Speaking of the left wing for Queensland. There's a chance. They're all a chance. Darius Boyd back to form over the past couple of weeks. Shaken off those hamstring problems he's had lead up to this 2018 season and through the first month or so. Edric Lee will play it here, 30 out from the Sharks line. 6-4. Eagles over the Eels. Shape is a very even contest, this one. It's going to be that way so far as Brayley gets out from dummy half there. A bunch of Eels there around the play of the ball. Matangi still getting himself back on side there. No call from the referee as Fafita takes it forward. Hazer Pritchard underneath him making the first contact. Moroa was also there. Here's Graham putting it up. An awkward one to catch this one for Gutherson. He adjusted well. Kickers are getting so adept putting those balls up that have almost no spin at all on them.
You wouldn't want to be a fullback in the modern game, would you? I mean, Benji Marshall's put some scary bombs up, as has Mitchell Moses, and there you saw the skill of Wade Graham.
Well, that man on the sideline used to love hitting those bombs up as a fullback for the Roosters and the Broncos. Justin Hodges.
Difficult the way they kick them these days to be standing there underneath them, looking up at the lights as well. Now Norman, the Eels under pressure. Off it down to Valentine Holmes, who will pick it up, and the Sharks off the back of that defensive effort. They have this ball in good field position to begin this set of 6. They scored before the Eels had touched the ball. Fecky, he was the man who grabbed the opening try, and he's met here in a pretty solid tackle. Off the back of a slow play, the ball. Some good meters there off the back. Pedaling backwards towards the Eels line. Takes it inside the 40 as Moylan goes to Fafita. Again, not much happening, so he heads sideways, dumps it off. Sometimes they can put his teammates under enormous pressure. And he does get going sideways. will rob them of any momentum in the set of 6 and takes away what they're planning for. And here they are, play 5. Townsend has to go to dummy half, and he'll get tackled as a result of the feet going sideways. It takes away one of their kicking options. Moylan, they look to his right-hand side. He puts it up. End over end. It'll bounce here. It could have gone anywhere. Luckily for the Eels, it bounced into touch.
And it's been wanting early, hasn't it? The kicking game of the Cronulla Sharks. Chad Townsend has put in one good kick down that right edge early in the tackle count. Matt Moylan's attempted 2 bombs that have both come off the side of his foot. One off the right, this one off the inside of his foot, going straight over the sideline. I think there's far better options there. Wade Graham's probably put up the best kick.
Well, I think on that occasion he was looking to maybe get a spiral up in the air. Moylan just didn't quite nail the kick. It's still not such a bad result for the Sharks.
I'd love to see the Sharks just have a set where they purely come off the back of Jaden Brayley. They just try to go too lateral, then they leave it up to Fafita to make some metres, and he'll skip across field, and they really lose their way. Love to see Brayley just take a couple of steps over the advantage line, play nice and direct, and you watch how many metres they make in the set.
Fafita's carries, his last couple in particular, have been sideways after that enormous run where he almost scored in the opening possession of the game. Townsend getting tackled in the 5th and last, that's for sure. Play down the short side, it hits the deck here, picked up by Edric Lee, not touched by Cronulla, and Gutherson had his hands full with Lee, who pops it out the back, and luckily for him, the Sharks hang on to it. A chance taken by Parramatta to go down the short side and really test them out. Instead, here they are defending their own line suddenly. Holmes to his left-hand side. Telly again. George Jennings jamming in with brother Michael. And they'll play at the Sharks just outside the 10. Graham. Mr. Paulo. Just take a settler and bring it back towards the uprights while Townsend and Moylan get themselves set on that right-hand side. It goes to Townsend. Moylan out the back was under pressure. Takarungi can be very good at times, jamming in just like that, and got the mistake from Matt Moylan.
They've been very aggressive the previous 2 weeks, the Parramatta Eels, both in around the ruck and on their edges. Takarangi comes out of the line, sees Matt Moylan out the back of the decoy play and shuts it down.
Well, big game here tonight, just up the road tomorrow at 2 o'clock. What a game we have. The defending premiers, the Melbourne Storm, taking on the St George Illawarra Dragons at what, tipping by kickoff, will be probably a sold-out Cobra. It will be amazing, the atmosphere there tomorrow, and you'll see it. The only place you can see it live and ad-free during play is right here on Fox League. Another mistake by the Eels, and the Sharks exchanging high fives.
That ball just got squeezed out there in the tackle. Unfortunately for Parramatta, there was, watch here, there's 3 defenders in there. Oh, maybe a hand forced it out.
Bit of pressure there perhaps from Joseph Paulo. The ball coming free. Sorny Matangi would certainly say that's how he saw it. Either way, the Sharks have it.
Come together. Wait till all
To
heads are in.
extend this
Ball
lead.
heads
It
in.
stands at 2
Get in
midway
there.
through
Straight
the
in,
opening
head in.
half.
Shot clock off. Ball in.
Hold, guys. Holding. Out.
Brayley out the back of the scrum. Goes to Moylan. Likely on this left-hand side. We'll see if they work it back. Well, they won't get the chance to work it back at the end of this set because Moylan's made a mistake getting back to his feet. Cheap turnover here in great field position.
And both teams just need to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. There's been some easy errors. There's been some poor kicking. And what's worked well for the Parramatta Eels in the last 2 weeks, Shane Flanagan, he'd be thinking exactly that, just control the football. They win off the back of their defence, the Cronulla Sharks, until their spine really finds their way in attack. They're winning games off the back of their defence. The Parramatta Eels, the last 2 weeks, have had some energy to attack because they've controlled possession.
Parramatta off the back of the reprieve. Play it here through Jennings. Now Pritchard going from dummy half. And a bit of space too as well in behind the play the ball. Brayley and Fafita made the tackle, but it gets them on the front foot in the opening plays of this set.
Love that from Kaiser Pritchard.
Varro, they get Gets spun around like a helicopter, gets back to his feet. Here's Norman coming out to Moses. Moiroa, quite the timing on the play they were hoping for. A couple of good plays defensively by the Sharks, and now Graham comes up with the ball, but the tackle had been completed. There'll be a strip after the fact by the skipper, Wade Graham, and give the Eels a chance. Pretty close range as well.
Yeah, ball error, penalty. It's not what coaches need to see. Must have obviously called held there, the referee. What he did was okay, but it must have been after the referee had called held. So see what they got here, the Eels. No doubt they'll be heading left.
Ooh, big carry by Tepai Moiroa, and Wade Graham has done well to stay involved in the tackle. What a collision between the two back rows going head to head. Alvaro takes it inside the 20. Pritchard runs to dummy half. He gets there in time. Timana fresh on the field, and suddenly neither team can get through a set. What a chance wasted in great field position here. Mana pouring onto it with the pass forward from Pritchard.
And that's where Kaiser just needs to straighten up. You could see Matt Pryor just backing off because he ran sideways. Brad Arthur, he'd be telling them, just get through the sets, build some pressure. Let's bring some fatigue about their defensive line. It'll give us a lot more opportunity. But Kaiser Pritchard, I love the idea. But when he gets it nice and direct, it really makes a big difference to the spaces opening up for Mitchell Moses and Corey Norman.
Well, that's what they did last week against the Tigers, and it worked really well for them, just trying to plough through that middle. Just hasn't quite clicked for them yet tonight, the Eels.
Sharks to play it here inside their own 30. Jesse Ramian for the Newcastle Knights in 2019 has found home for himself the right centre position. Extremely well. He's taking over that role for Shane Flanagan. Better run here by Fafita. Braylon with Townsend. Charging hard and finding some space on the edge of the ruck there. Takes it inside the 30. They've got one more play. Moylan looks to his left-hand side, fires a spiralling pass to Graham, who puts a kick in. It'll have Gutherson under huge pressure. Fecky gets to him. So does Latelli. And they earned themselves 6 more tackles.
And again, Wade Graham. I think there was a bit of miscommunication there between Jennings and Gutherson. They were a bit tentative as to who was going to get the ball, but look at that, Wade Graham, a little step off the right foot. Mitchell Moses puts all sorts of pressure on him, but look at the weight of the kick. George Jennings just wanted Gutherson to take it. He probably thought Jennings was going to take it, and that indecision just allowed the Cronulla Sharks to get him in the in goal.
Yeah, it was a big play from Graham, what we've come to expect from him on that left edge.
Okay.
Such good skills. Run,
Before the clock.
kick or pass, all in the repertoire of Wade Graham.
It really is the complete package. Could have been a penalty right in front of the uprights there for the Sharks, with Michael Jennings 1.5 metres offside. The goal line dropout. Gray there. Latitude given to the Eels. Riley waits at dummy half. See him and Afanai out there now for the Sharks. Here is Paulo. Townsend screaming, saying, what's going on amongst the forwards? He'll play the ball here. They're going to play the ball. Townsend. The tackle was completed. The ball came out the back and it was play on. It's still play on. Moylan numbers again. Quick hands. Fecky looking for a spin. Gliding Eels flat. Perhaps more. He has to take the tackle. On the last, Townsend. Back to Townsend. Quick hands. Collared him. Comes back inside. Away with it, Parramatta. For the high.
Mitch.
Well, again, it's just give us another 10 seconds. On with it.
Yeah, they're going to get on with things. Worried Parramatta.
I'd like to see that.
I was curious the way the ball continued on. A little knee lift. The Eels forwards. They'll play it here. Of the game is back. So is Holmes. Solid tackle made by work it towards the upright. Jennings did well there, and once more. Him up with a second effort. Paulo. See you manner for 9. Townsend and Moylan. It's too simple. Side of the field, and the Eels.
Well, they Moylan that put the confusion. The decoy runner went out the back. That got Matt Moylan goes through. Jennings, the skill he possesses, and solve the problem on your own. The Cronulla Sharks. He flying out of the line, particularly down this left edge. This year, out of the 18 tries left.
And nice piece of work. Thought one winger to get a double tonight. On the other side of the field. I think there's plenty more football in this game. This left edge here for back. He really skills, and that opens up opportunities for other players around him, and that was the case there again. He's a classy player.
Josiah Feki gone 20 games in a row before grabbing a double. He's rectified that here tonight, breaking that little drought. Well, Chad Townsend is lining this kick up on the sideline. Off camera, we just saw Wade Graham, the skipper, go up the tunnel for the Sharks. First game back after missing the last 2 with injury. And we'll get more from Justin Hodges to find out what's happening with Wade Graham, who's had a tremendous opening to this game. It's quite the pre-kick routine, does Townsend. This one a bit of a duff out of the right-hand side. It was trying to hook back. It'll stay at 10 points to 4. They've got some points in them down this left-hand side through Josiah Feki tonight, Justin.
Yeah, look, they do. That's a lovely little set piece there by the Sharks. Lovely little play. Feki into the corner. But just want to touch on the crowd at the moment. The crowd's really getting involved. There's a lot of areas, a bit of feeling starting to happen. And if you're down here on the sideline, you can really see, hear the hits, and there's a lot of chat going on between the players.
It's the old boys reunion tonight here at Old Shanty Park, Southern Cross Group Stadium. Great numbers, famous faces making their way around the field before kick-off here tonight. Here is Edric Lee, the player just outside the 20.
Nathan Long, you'd say winning the best dressed, yes, would you say?
Don't expect anything less from Longy.
There's some great players walking around the venue.
Now for Feeder. Out to this left edge. Out there by Moiroa and also Jennings. Scott Sorensen is out there, going to try his first try. The Sharks 2 weeks ago against the Panthers. big win for Cronulla. They were 2-4 going into that game. They've subsequently beaten the Gold Coast last week. Back on level terms with 4 wins and 4 losses. Moylan under pressure there. Moyroa coming out quickly. The kick, such a bad one though, and Gutherson had to take it a metre out from his own line.
And that try from Sorensen, didn't he show some pace? The turn of foot, really quite surprising for a back rower.
He gapped them down this left-hand side, down towards the northern end of the Botany Bay end. This venue. Here's French coming across the field for a carry. Gutherson gets to double half. It's all the backs at the moment, the back end of this set. As Jennings plays it, now it didn't matter. Back to the big boys. He'll play it here just outside the Sharks' 40. Last tackle, Pritchard looking for Moses. He puts it up. It'll hang there in the breeze as well. Holmes doesn't get anywhere near it. Luckily for the Sharks, it bounces out of that right-hand side for Ramian to pick it up. And he was just about away there from Takarangi and company.
He's quick off the mark, is Jesse Ramian, but again, the big bomb they're going for, they're just not hitting them in the right spot at the moment, both the Sharks nor the Eels.
Zedrick Lee plays it. Here's from Brayley to Latelli. I mentioned Wade Graham going up the tunnel a moment ago. What's the word from the Sharks, Justin?
Yeah, look, not good, guys. He's obviously re-injured that hamstring, so he will not be back tonight.
Jeez, that is a massive blow for the Sharks and Wade Graham, with still Paul Gallen missing for maybe another week or so. Here is Holmes getting through, giving it back to Townsend. They open them up on that right edge, and the flashing feet of Valentine Holmes makes a statement for the Sharks.
Well, he does make a statement, doesn't he? As you say, the flashing boots, it looked danger from here when you saw Holmes flashing on the inside. Just not enough defence there to cover it. Then nice work from Tim Manor it was to actually force Holmes to make the offload. And of course, Townsend trailing back through the middle like all good halves. Look at the speed there of Holmes. I thought he was going to go on with it from there, but it was Gower actually that got a hand on him. And nice work from Townsend as well. Good support play to finish off another great Sharks movement.
And that's the play we always see over on the left edge. That's one of Wade Graham's favourite plays, to get the ball on the out, back inside to Holmes. But Capewell did it brilliantly. The timing from Valentine Holmes to perfection. And Townsend, he always pushes up the middle in support. Such an honest player.
He doesn't need much space, Holmes, does he? And he's lightning with those pink boots.
It was a terrific ball back on the inside from Capewell. The timing was delicious. Beside the uprights, Chad Townsend to convert his own try to make this a handy lead 8 minutes out from half-time. He can move 2 converted tries in front. It was a tight contest in the space of 4 minutes. Fecky scoring. And the Eels make a mistake. Townsend off the back of it comes down the field and scores. And they put a bit of a gap between themselves and Parramatta, and despite doing well to win back-to-back, they're still mired there at the bottom of the ladder. 2 wins and 6 losses. They just need to keep on winning. Townsend splits the uprights. He makes it 16 points to 4. Justin, there's a real look about the Sharks here tonight with their attack.
Yeah, look, you're 100% right, was. They really come here tonight to play. And what a lovely little try there. Val Holmes has just got unbelievable speed. You give him a little gap and he's straight through it. And Chad Townsend, for me, has probably been the best player for the Sharks. He's been in everything. With the whole 3 tries the Sharks have scored, he's been heavily involved. And Val Holmes, Kevy, what do you reckon? State of origin?
Well, he was there last year, Justin, wasn't he? I see you had him in your side through the week on Queenslanders Only, so, and I often listen to a lot of your advice.
He's in the mix, Hodjo.
He's in the mix.
Very, very smart man, Kev.
Just, Hodjo, on the Parramatta side, you mentioned before a lot of, they just seem to be a little bit flat at the moment. Is there plenty of talk going on amongst them? Are they still fighting away here?
Question to ponder. Here's Braille from dummy half.
He's going to get a pie. He's a bit cold down there, Justin.
It's a bit cool for a Queenslander here on
it is a bit cool.
Shores of Botany Bay. Somebody just taking the edge off things. Ramian
But they do look a bit flat, don't they, the Eels, just at the moment. From what we saw last week to this week, it's a different mindset for them.
They haven't had much ball either, Kev, only 39%.
Just the one real set inside the Sharks 20. And they scored pretty much the second tackle inside the 20. Shift to the left-hand side. The kick from Townsend. Going back. Gutherson wants to get to the in-goal area, and he would have done if not for the very large pad around the upright.
Great commitment from Clint Gutherson. Did not care where the post was, only had eyes for the football, and you wouldn't expect anything less from the Parramatta co-captain.
That's an amazing catch.
That's a captain's catch. That's what that is. And needed to be caught as well because the Sharks players were screaming through on it. Excellent catch.
What a player he is, and what a difference he has made since returning from the ACL reconstruction. Form immediately. Went upwards, and now Norman's kick. Edric Lee to bring it back at speed. He'll just loop his way across the halfway line. Wasn't much of a chase there on that left-hand side for Parramatta. That will be a major concern for Brad Arthur, and they just have to find a way here to hang on between now and the break. Townsend floating out to this left-hand side. Moylan is there. Sorensen. You know that he can gap them. Awkwardly there. Might have crunched his neck. Jamming into the turf. See him Manafanai just outside the 10. They've got a couple more plays left in this set. Here is Moylan down the short side. Coming in there to make a strong tackle is Tepai Moiroa. Last play here for Cronulla. Townsend, that first receiver. Look across the field. They might have been in front of the kicker, in fact, there. Edric Lee will fly for it. The ball comes free. It goes into touch anyway, but Edric Lee gives some old hammerhead. Who's that? Great White?
Play the ball here.
That's Great White over that side of the field, yeah. It was good work from French, though, wasn't it? Waiting for Lee to catch it, and then he jumped all over him. Nice tackle.
Joseph.
Right here.
Oh, they've got to get some energy here, the Eels.
And they tap it and go and trying to do exactly that. Let's take a rungy. Now there's going to be a whistle blown.
Back there. No. There was a guy off from your team in front of the tap. So it can't be fast.
And it's the Eels who get the chance to do it over because they had a player offside.
Come up.
Still convinced that should be a turnover of possession.
The good old days, used to be, didn't it?
Sure did. Taking the quick tap.
Not a quick
Norman
tap
will
because
find
they
the
had a
line.
player in front.
That interpretation came into being, I guess, 5-6 seasons ago now. It's been a while, and you have to try and limit the amount of stoppages in the game, I guess. You can see some onus on the players, though, to get things right. It's Matter. Walks it down here to almost the 40. Will Smith at dummy half. Trying to breather for the moment. And Gower a good carry. Picks up 10 metres. Come out here to Moses. Moiroa towards Moylan, who was exposed a couple of times last week by the Gold Coast Titans. John Arrow in particular made a tremendous run beating a Moylan tackle. Here's Norman out the back from Ma'u, back to Norman. Takarungi fires it back to the middle. Alvaro tip it on. Nobody wanted it. Gower said, go that way, young man. Head towards the line. He did exactly that. Now Norman with his chip it towards the corner. Coming through quickly. Jennings had a play at the ball. It's still there.
On the last.
There will be a knock-on against the Eels and a changeover for the Sharks to get possession.
Well, he had a good enough opportunity at it, Jennings. It was nice and flat from Corey Norman because Jennings was flying onto the football, and you'll see he gets a decent catch at it. Just missed, times it.
It was a flatter type kick, wasn't it, from Norman. Just not allowing the Sharks players to get up and compete. But just couldn't quite control it through the air. The catch, that is.
Giant by modern sentence. George Jennings on the wing for Parramatta, but he certainly has a height advantage against Josiah Feckie, and teams have exploited that in the past. Here's Fafita, a little sleight of hand there. To do something from up his sleeve almost. Moylan luckily was there to grab it. Second manner for 9. Back at the halfway line. He'll play it on the last. Moylan.
All good.
No pressure on him. We'll just try and find the sideline. It's a good kick. Oh, in fact, it does a little off break right at the death. Gutherson now has to get to the turf, and he does exactly that.
Well, it just pulled up, didn't it? It looked like it was going dead. For sure. Even surprised Gutherson.
Like it was going into touch before the corner post, then touch and goal. Did neither, and Gutherson was under pressure. Smith out of dummy half. Tracking there from Marker. Going through plenty of work again. Leads all Sharks tacklers with 21, but gives away a penalty.
That's a good run from Smith. Lots of energy about his run. He tried to get up and play it quickly. He's gone into the dummy half roll. Got to find something here, the Eels. Got to find a try.
He has the speed to worry them out of that position. This might be their last chance before half-time. Trailing by 12. Moiroa goes to Moses. Tim Manor. Awkward jinking style. It's like Jason Nightingale is playing in the front row sometimes when Tim Manor goes to the line. It's Norman. A step away there from Fafita. To play it here inside the 10. Smith looking to the left-hand side. Gutherson gets there. Takarungi under pressure. Good read by Andrick Lee. They want to try and take him towards the sideline. They got rid of him in no uncertain terms, but after the call of held, it's a penalty.
You'd really take the 2 here, wouldn't you?
Andrew, we're playing on, coach. We're playing on.
Andrew Fafita coming up to try and have a chat. And he is now the captain. Maybe trying to use up a couple of precious seconds there, but
they should have ran straight at him.
Look at the space in the defensive line. So Manor, well, just on 25 seconds remaining, we'll play it here. Smith goes to Moses, a switch back across. Numbers on this left-hand side. Norman can't get rid of it. They had a couple of extra players there. Ma'u and Takarungi were screaming for it. Go the side now. Moses gives it to Ma'u. He dumps it off. Takarungi goes back to Moses. Shapes to kick. Rubbers one in behind. Jennings has a chance. Latelli, though, going backwards. Cleans it up. And the Sharks survive a late scare. And they enjoy a 12-point buffer at the break. As they head to the sheds at halftime, Cronulla 16, the Eels 4. As Cronulla try and make it 3 wins on the trot. There's quite a heated discussion between Norman and Brad Takarungi leaving the field for the Eels. We'll see if they can get everybody on the same page in this second 40. Matt Moylan gets us underway, and it's Tim Manor, co-captain, to bring it out for Parramatta.
No more.
Going into this game with the worst attacking record in the competition, with just 14.3 points per game on average. They need to show something here. So they can get some field position. Whether Norman and Moses can create off the back of it. Will Smith out there at the moment for Pritchard, who's cooling his heels on the bench. David Gower takes a carry as Smith comes back to the middle. Another run here for Tim Manor. Second in this opening set of the second half. They've got it across the halfway line. It'll be Smith feeding it for Norman to put it high in the air. Not a lot of depth on the kick. Fecky leaving it. It bounces up here. Comes back to Moses, who spins away. He trying to flick it out the back there to George Jennings.
Change over, boys.
What's going on with the kicking tonight? You'd fancy with Valentine Holmes at the back, you would test him out. He's had his moments under the high ball. That kick was going nowhere.
Yeah, well, they're trying to do that, but they just haven't got enough length in their kicks, have they? I mean, that was a spiral type of kick, but it went nowhere near Holmes or near any of the Sharks players, really. All they could do was just watch it bounce and go into touch.
Gives the Sharks great field position. There is Holmes. What a pickup off the back of an audacious offload there from Andrew Fafita. Passed it to a ghost, and suddenly Valentine Holmes appeared on the scene.
That was a special pickup from Valentine Holmes.
Pryor at the line. Spin away there from the tackle. Gower and also Manor. He'll play it there. Just outside the 10. Brayley. Boy, looking to Holmes back on the inside. He's suddenly the target on both sides of the field. No timing, though, on that particular play. And the Eels do the hard yards from inside their own 20 for a moment there. Michael Jennings feet away. George following suit. He takes it beyond the 30. Quick play the ball. Smith. There's Gower. Going sideways as he came towards the tackle there of Capewell. Manu Ma'u pushing up in support. He's had 2 good games in a row on this left-hand side, Ma'u, but not too many chances in that opening half. He had just the 12 tackles in total inside the Sharks 20, and now a miscue from dummy half by Will Smith.
Well, we've seen actually a few this round. Surprisingly, we saw one from Mannering in the earlier game. Just a lack of concentration. Just slips out the front of their hands, and hate to say I have been there.
Yeah. Just the timing of it all, and when you do it, that's just the wrong place there for the Eels. It looked like they were building to something there.
They had 45% off possession in the first half to come up with just the 1 try. Responded to the early Fecky try in the 4th minute when Bevan French was able to cross. It was 6-4 at that stage. And it was pretty much all the Sharks from that point on. I tell you, just do the little things so well, the Sharks. Outside backs coming in for a carry, helping out the forwards. Without Wade Graham, we'll get a half-time report in a moment from Justin Hodges as to what was happening in both camps at the break. Townsend from Moylan. Here's Holmes. He's left, he's right. This time he's ran it up by Manu Ma'u. Just outside the 10. Last tackle. Goes to Moylan. Townsend chasing through. The kick, though, bounces up for Gutherson. And the fullback will be stopped there, 10 out from his own line.
And because both teams' kicking game isn't putting too much pressure on each other's defensive line, the team that controls the football, I have no doubt will go on and win this game, because it's still just sitting there. Great line speed, Matty Pryor. It's just sitting there waiting for someone to grab it by the scruff of the neck and control it.
Tim Manor showing it there. By Pryor and also Fafita. Smith. Goes to Gower. Now out the back. Moses tipping it on. Norman, it keeps going. Michael Jennings, though, under pressure. Will wrap him up. You'd like to see one of the halves just poke their nose through the line here and really test them out. Another midfield bomb. This one towards Edric Lee. He makes the catch, and still they can't get it to Valentine Holmes.
Here he comes on play 2.
Just missing a couple of vital ingredients at the moment, the Eels. The halves, for all their slickness, not really testing out the defence with their own carries. And they have so much speed, both of them, both Moses and Norman. And their kicking has been below par as well. Brayley bringing it back to almost the halfway line and gets a penalty.
Back 10.
Wait, Jaden, behind him.
It's just imperative that the Eels hang on here. Some work on the ground over the top. Silly stuff. Brayley appealing for the penalty. David Gower, I think it was his right hand. Work there on the face and neck of Brayley.
Good to see Brayley running the football too. He has the last couple of weeks. That's his 4th carry tonight. He looks sharp when he does.
Valentine Holmes there. Very involved. That's a worrying sign. The Parramatta Eels defensive line. See him at it for 9. Playing it. It goes to Townsend. There's the feeder. Just work it forward. On the hash mark at the 20-metre line. Brayley goes to Clark. A switch here. Townsend. Moylan, the timing not quite there again on the players. Wrapped around the back there of Kurt Capewell. Ramian set upon pretty easily as a result. They're midway through this set, though. Townsend. Oh, a little juggle. Not away from him. Got his popcorn before it went upside down in the theatre as he went down the steps. Nothing worse. Trudge back out of the convenience store and buy more popcorn. Now a chance. Moylan, there's popcorn here. There's some candy on top. And some fairy floss as well for the Sharks.
Also in there tonight was.
Edric Lee scores. What a nice play down the short side by Cronulla.
Well, again, started by Townsend. Terrific play. Back to this right edge. Just through the hands. Some good lines there by all the Sharks players. A real team's try. And Lee gets the spoils to finish it off. But nice work from Brayley at first. And then it just continued out. Good hands there from Moylan. And Edric Lee, the big fella. You're not going to stop him from there. He loves it too. Look at that. Great try to the Sharks.
And you see the work from Brayley just there. A little show out to the left-hand side, then comes back to the right, plays nice and straight. The decoy run from Capewell, the timing was impeccable, and then that's it. It opened them up, the left edge for the Parramatta Eels, stripped them of numbers, and there it is, a little post-try celebration. What was that one, Kevy?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll get on to Hodjo for that one. He's into that sort of stuff. But look, Lee's quite a try scorer for the Sharks this year. I mean, he keeps getting the ball over the line. He's a big young fellow.
That's his fourth.
Fourth for the year, and he's had a couple of clubs, but he looks to find his feet here this season at the Sharks.
His run of form would be handy for him off contract at the end of 2018. Townsend now to make this an 18-point lead. Whether he converts or not, it's a long, long way back for the Eels.
Well, they just haven't started the second half with any sort of venom, or a couple of little unfortunate handling errors, a couple of poor kicks. Just not helping themselves at the moment. And get that sorted, they'll get themselves back in the game. But once they get flowing, the Eels, there's enough points in them still. Just got to control that ball a bit better.
Compare the work of this man and Matt Moylan to that of Corey Norman and Mitchell Moses tonight. They've played them off the park. In a different league at the moment. Well, as far as his goal kicking was concerned, though, that time Chad Townsend, he misses to the left-hand side. It's a big lead now for the Sharks, though, Justin.
Yeah, look, it is, guys. Thanks for all that funny enough, Kevy. Oh, look, that's just great play there by the Cronulla Sharks. That's great vision. You can see the Parramatta Eels at the moment. They're just not numbering up on that short side. And this man here you touched on, Edric Lee, can score a try, so good on him.
Yeah. It was a beautifully set play.
Oh, Corey.
Moylan wrapping round to the right-hand side. Now he had to just coast to the line. Corey Norman gets us back underway. The kick down to Moylan. Get it off with some speed there. A little bit of rocket through the walkie-talkie from Brad Arthur to the support staff on the sideline. Message would have been flying thick and fast while the Eels were stationed behind the goal line. They need a response, and pretty quickly here. Still more than half an hour remaining. Themselves in a big hole as Fafita takes it beyond the 30.
What an effort from Fafita. That's his 17th carry. Hasn't been off the field yet.
Big minutes here. Completed forward pack against the Panthers 2 weeks ago, and will likewise do something similar again here tonight. Now we're here for Fecky.
Possession. Tim Manor is all over.
It's a little dazed after that contact. I'd say the same of Tim Manor. Had some issues with concussions in the past. Tim Manor.
Might explain it.
Bump of heads there, and Manor, you see the expression on his face as he went to ground, and likewise Fecky. Tim very quickly clutched that bump on the forehead. And Tim Manor, with Wayne Graham watching on, saw him in the dressing rooms at halftime with the ice pack on the back of that left hamstring. Tim Manor will come from the field for a head injury assessment. We'll bring Penny Terapo back onto the field for the Eels. We'll see if Sasai Fecky is okay to continue on for the Sharks. He's coming off a big game last week against the Tigers. He was great off the bench, Tim Manor. That game last Sunday afternoon at ANZ Stadium. Hasn't been able to make the same sort of impact here today, but it's been tough. Not the ball they've had in good field position. The Sharks well on top. I think he gets the all clear. Townsend kicking. Try and find the space. He'll pick out Gutherson on the full though. George Jennings, who is back there in support of the fullback, and will play a 25 out from his own line. Kenny Edwards. A long time to get a chance in this game. Didn't see any game time before the break. Terapo is out there. And maybe Terapo, his carries, and Edwards, with his trademark energy, will get them going here. There's a flat ball there for Moiroa. Takes it across the Sharks 40. Good tackle by Latelli downstairs. Norman at the line. Giving it a pass there for Ma'u, and they'll play it here on this left-hand side. Norman, Takarangi chipping over the top. Pressure here on Holmes. They'll come up with it. There's going to be a penalty, though.
Inside 10. Inside 10.
Eels
You're
being
already
offside. It might have been for one of the Eels being run off the ball or the chase just then, but instead the call was that one of the players, must have been Norman back on the inside, was it, from Takarangi when he put the kick in. French getting through. Surely he was offside.
It's the only thing it could have been.
Things not happening. Good guns here tonight. Capewell. Almost back at the halfway line, off the back of the kick for line. Feeder for a show of it. Hangs onto it. Always the offloading threat. Wrapped up though by Moiroa. In and away, and he opened up a bit of space there as well. Ma'u was under pressure, so much so they got an offload away. Brayley quickly linked with Siamanafanai. 25 metres out. Terrific work by Matt Pryor. Gives them this attacking chance. They've opened them up 4 times already in this game tonight. Capewell playing it. Last tackle goes to Townsend, who grubbers back. Chasing through his Holmes. It's set up after initially off the boot, looking like it was too big, and they had no choice but to play at it.
And again, it was the work around the ruck from young Brayley, just playing nice and direct, bringing Matty Pryor onto the ball, and he's always been a skillful player, has Matty Pryor. As we see the kick from Townsend, just good weight. They have to play at the football, does Corey Norman, and Valentine Holmes just gives him a little shove. He's always had the skill though, Matty Pryor, but he's just lacked in confidence. And I saw him as a young kid coming through the grades at the Dragons, and what he's progressed into now, dual premiership winner, is a credit to himself.
Began as a centre. George Illawarra. Here he is as a front rower. Great job once again. See him out for night. Runs towards Terapo. Moiroa also there with David Gower. Chance deep on the attack. That's for the home team. Moylan saw Takarangi coming in quickly. Picking up and just dumping to the turf there. Could have been easily a penalty for effort after the call of held. We've only seen one of those tonight. Here's Fafita losing the ball. He was trying to offload it. Good call there by the referee. No doubt Fafita was trying to get another sneaky offload away and lost it of his own volition. The Eels get a penalty, and Clint Gutherson screaming at his team, trying to get something going.
Well, he forced the penalty there, didn't he, Gutherson?
Michael, on that.
There's the replay of Fafita trying to get the offload away. Play on there for sure. Here's their opportunity now, the Eels. Get some momentum through their middle. Certainly got enough talent out there to get something happening here at the moment.
Moiroa at the Sharks 40. Yeah, running towards Jaden Brayley. Look underneath there from Siamanafanai. Smith waiting at dummy half. Numbers on this left-hand side. Ma'u at the back for Norman. Takarangi quick hands, but French had nowhere to go there, and in fact does pretty well to bypass some traffic and stay in the field of play. Norman comes to Kenny Edwards. Comes towards Chad Townsend with the ball under the armpit. It comes from Will Smith. What hands Hands picked up by French, but the pass from Smith was forward.
Well, I thought the pickup from Ballantyne Holmes was unbelievable, but that, a bullet-like pass, unfortunately for Parramatta Eels fans, it was forward. But look at the offload from Kenny Edwards. Out the back to Smith. He fires a bullet at the ankles of Bevan French. Wow.
That could have been the double I was looking for.
Yeah. Brad Arthur's heart would have been in his mouth.
Yeah.
The Kalen Ponga-like pass. He supplied for Kenny Seo last night, which ended in a no tries, it turned out, when Seo lost the ball for the Knights against the Rabbitohs. And we're building, of course, we're getting closer. The countdown is well and truly on over this weekend until we get to Cogra tomorrow, Jubilee Oval. And it's the big clash between the defending premiers, the Melbourne Storm, taking on the league leading St George Illawarra Dragons. Like an English Premier League game there, the chanting, the Red V Army on the hill, no doubt. A few seats still available, barely at this point in time. The Storm and the Dragons tomorrow, live right here on Fox League. It will be. Fecky takes it up towards the 40. Still lead by 16, and then Brayley tripping over the back. David Gower there. Referees are happy to let play continue on. Holmes waits at dummy half. This right-hand side. Moving up. Kurt Dillon is out there now. A chance off the bench for Shane Flanagan. Spiralling kick from Townsend. Bounces away from Gutherson. Goes straight towards George Jennings. And starts leaping forward across the turf. A slap on the butt there from Clint Gutherson, who's trying to urge him on. And up against it now, Takarangi. Quite back at the halfway line as he plays at the Gutherson, getting involved here at the dummy half. Terapo coming back to this left-hand side. Nice tackle by Edric Lee. Here's Kenny Edwards. Goes towards Kurt Capewell. More than this at the moment, though. Now a chance to spread it on the right-hand side. It goes to Gower. He just bumps it forward. Now an offload. Will Smith is backing up. Gutherson was there pushing through the middle. And Smith will hang on to it. Gutherson will do the honours from dummy half. On the last, Norman is flat. Come to his left-hand side. A cut-out ball for Takarangi, who, well, he goes all Joe Montana on us. That was Tom Brady. Now Moses fends away, stays alive. There's a run past Latelli, gets to the outside. He puts a kick in, and the Eels have officially unravelled.
Well, that's twice they've gone to Brad Takarangi on the last play. He's been cornered, had no options. Ballantyne Holmes had read it, and that's what they end up with.
They don't know whether they're playing rugby league or NFL, Kev.
Yeah, there's a bit of everything in that little movement, but just a bit of frustration, I guess, there from the Eels. Watched them play last week against the Tigers. They were very impressive, but just keeping it simple, running hard. Seemed to lost their plot, lost their way a bit this week around just the simple basics of the game.
And one of Corey Norman's biggest strengths is his ability to force dropouts. He's got 12 this year. He has a great short kicking game.
The game plan has gone out the window, and Brad Takarangi suddenly thinks it's Levi Stadium playing for the 49ers alongside Jared Hayne. Maybe there's been a bit too much NFL practice when they warm up at training. Here's Seguiaro, the running back. Gave it to Paulo. He knocked it on. Well, it looked like a knock-on. It's play on instead for the moment. Was it off a knee? They'll get 6 more tackles here. What a bonus this is for the Sharks.
Knocked back. All up.
Clint Gutherson.
Yeah, all up.
Hey, I've explained it. It was knocked back off one of your guys, a pass back by them as well. Shot clock on.
Let's watch this again as Seguiaro just split them wide open from dummy half. Came to Edwards, went through his tackle. Terapo likewise. There's a little touch there from Gower, then off the knee of Paulo. Either way, it wasn't off the hand of Joseph Paulo.
Michael,
and a good call on field by the referees live. Not exactly. The Eels might have been tempted to go short just then. Such is the desperation. The spot they find themselves in, they go long instead. They just have to survive this set of 6 defensively. Seguiara for Townsend. Dillon will play it. 25 out on the Parramatta line. Seguiara waiting. Townsend with players in motion around him. One of them is Holmes. So many touches tonight for the fullback. The real entertainers of the NRL. Big role here this evening. Now Braille. He's burrowing his way down to the 10. Moylan. He's outside. Ramey is there. Takarungi gets up pretty quickly. Makes the tackle on him. They've got one more here. It's Capewell waits. Feeds it from Moylan. It was grabbed towards the uprights. He wanted the pad. It sits up and it was touched. It was touched by Michael Jennings. And it will be another goal line dropout.
Well, another perfect kick, wasn't it? Not sure if he was aiming for the uprights there or just trying to pull it up in goal. Let's have a look at the bounce here. There it is there. The rugby league ball continues to amaze us, doesn't it? The way it bounces around. Off the boot, you would have thought that was going dead, but it stayed flat to the ground. Another set of 6 here now for the Sharks. Can they hang on, the Eels?
There's Pryor to bring it back. What we've seen so far in this game, he'd be winding the Sharks in to score in this very set. Seguiara. Dillon showing the inside there for Brayley. He's a big unit, isn't he? Kurt Dillon. There they are, 20 metres out. Seguiara, I think it's a chance to go from close range here. Big from dummy half. Moylan keeps it alive. Holmes skipping around the back there of Paulo. Wrapped up by Michael Jennings. Midway through this set. Back-to-back goal line dropout. Seguiara takes a chance himself. There he is. Pryor gets the offload. A little skip and a turn. Runs towards Jennings. They're having trouble locking up the ball, but they've got a mistake. Gutherson again. Tepai Moiroa. Both firing up. Let's go down to Justin Hodges. Has been timed though for a report. Justin on Tim Manor.
Yeah, look, there's some great news for the Parramatta Eels there. Captain Tim Manor will be back. He passed his HIA and we should see him back in the field very shortly.
Good news for the Eels. The other good news is that there's a lot of talk here around the Parramatta players. The Sharks just haven't finished them off. Still 18 minutes to go in this game. Want to be careful, the Sharks. They're just not quite finishing off their movements. Parramatta can score next. As we know, they can score tries quickly.
There is Tim Manor returning from the Eels dressing room, passing that concussion test. An offload here from Terapo. Has Gutherson in action. Takarungi off the back of Edwards. Brings it down to almost the 40. Gutherson's spending a lot of time now at dummy half, isn't he? Has to be there. Right on the spot. Get something going. Floating around the back now. Moses at the line. Goes to Norman again. 2 passes before any defence. Just keep tipping it on. Not digging into the line themselves. Having a go. And it's just pretty easy pickings for the Sharks.
They've only dug in twice into the line. That was Corey Norman both times on the left edge. Once resulted in a try. The second time they just got cornered about 5 metres out. I'd love to see him play back on the inside a lot more. They created a lot against the Tigers back on the inside, but didn't make the most of their opportunity.
Dillon. He'll play it here, just outside the 30. Seguiara. Townsend. Back on the inside for Ramey. Solidly built. Still standing there in the tackle. They just can't get him to the turf. He'll play it and put Edwards out of position at marker. Townsend, a ricochet. Saw plenty of that last week from Chad Townsend. He's got the ball back here though. Had trouble getting it through the line against the Titans last week. And it will be a play the ball for Chad Townsend. Instead he stands up, barks some instructions, and then gives Will Smith a shove in the mush and finally plays the ball. Cool and calm. Chad Townsend. I've seen that so many times before. Here's Ramian. On the ball back, it was still play on, and Townsend wanted to stand there and play traffic cop and tell everybody what they were working for.
That's unlike a halfback.
Seguiaro, he goes to the halfback. Goes to the 5/8 Moylan. Paulo, spin there in the tackle of Moiroa. A couple of metres out and 2 plays left in this set. Dillon charging hard. Some stopping as well. One more play from underneath the black dots. It'll be a penalty and a chance here from right in front to make this 3 converted tries the difference. And I think they've already decided that's exactly what they're going to do.
Even Fafita's putting his fingers up saying take the 2. They didn't throw too much at them, the Cronulla Sharks. They defended quite well, Parramatta, but they're out on their feet. They've only had 41% possession. Every time they get the ball, they make a mistake or put in a poor kick.
Yeah, their second half completions haven't been where they need to be. Throwing a couple of penalties and all of a sudden you're under pressure. Tim Manor makes his way back onto the field. Still 15 minutes left in this game, so they still enough time for the Eels. They need to change what they're doing though, and Cronulla quite content just to play through their sets and get to their kicks. Very young Cronulla side out there at the moment.
And to that point, Shane Flanagan would be delighted with the way they've just been so composed tonight, not about their work. Nicely led, as we've mentioned, by Townsend and Moylan. And with Valentine Holmes playing in this fullback role with Josh Dugan out with a foot injury. He was the first choice halfback at the start of the season. Josh Dugan moved into that role, gave Jesse Ramien a chance on the right-hand side in the centres, with Dugan going back to fullback. When you see Holmes play like this, there's no doubt he creates more than either Dugan or Moylan in the same role. He's certainly a much bigger threat with his speed than Josh Dugan presents. On those sweeps especially. 22 points to 4. It's all the Sharks here at the moment. Up the road tomorrow. Coming out to watch, Gaz?
I'll be in studio, but I cannot wait for it.
The Dragons taking on the Storm.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting
A contest it promises to be. You'll see it live. Our pre-game show will be on air from 1:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Sunday ticket, yep, 1:30. We'll have a good look at both teams.
That game, of course, will be followed by the Roosters hosting the Sea Eagles. 2 or 3 weeks it's been for Manly. See if they can bounce back tomorrow after everything that's happened. Everything has been going on at headquarters over there at Narrabeen. Dillon, as part of that set, put them in position to worm the penalty. It's 22 points to 4, 13 remaining, and the Eels scrambling down the barrel of a 2-win and 7-loss record. There'll be plenty of people prepared to write them off 2 and 7. But I will remind you, Panthers were in exactly the same predicament last year, and Penrith stormed back in the second half of the competition to make the finals. And playing some good footy at the end of the season, so all is not lost for Parramatta at this stage. But boy, they've given themselves a job trying to make the top 8 by the time we get to September. Gutherson to play it. Frustrated tonight with what he's done out of his troops. George Jennings bringing it back here. It seems like an eternity since the Eels are down at the other end of the field. They've had just one play inside the Sharks 20 in this second half.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's been pretty much like that from the opening 5 minutes. But in saying that, they've done themselves no favours either.
There's Norman taking them down towards the red zone. The only tackle they had at this end of the field inside the 20 was the pass from Will Smith, which was forward to Bevan French. Moses kicking back towards Bevan French. He scored a similar play last week, but Holmes was there. French never left the ground. He had to weave in traffic, and all of that traffic was okay as far as the referees were concerned, with blockers being in the forefront of most people's minds over the course of this weekend. Watch it again. little bump there, perhaps right at the death from Edric Lee, but they said it was okay. Terapo. Wild Axeman slashing the forearm there of Jesse Ravian. He was in the woodchopping contest at the Easter show for a moment. Townsend. Big boot goes down to Clint Gutherson. He'll bring it back. This left-hand side where French was stationed, but he takes the tackle. And the Sharks in complete command here, Justin Hodges. The Eels, though, get a penalty, but the Sharks are doing it nicely, aren't they?
Yeah, look, they are. And we spoke about the Eels' discipline before. A lot of errors, back-to-back errors. And the Sharks tonight, full credit to them. They've really come in from the opening whistle ready to play. There, so much enthusiasm. Their ball control's been outstanding.
Well, this may well be it for Parramatta. They just need to score right here. It's Edwards who'll play it just outside the 20. Goes to Norman, who turns Manor back underneath him. Tackled there by Dillon around the legs. Fafita over the top. What a role he's played again tonight, Andrew Fafita. Flat pass there from Moses. Ma'u keeps it going. Gutherson whirling back to this left-hand side. Looking for somebody. Takarangi puts up his hand for a carry. Not really much happening, though. That a touch by the Sharks. It'll be a knock-on against Cronulla.
Eels tried to offload
Lee thought he was
backwards,
away for the
off
prize.
the
Instead, it'll be a Parramatta feed at the 10.
And the Eels just searching for something, wanting to pack this scrum quickly, understandably. But from the last 10 minutes, what we've seen in attack, you just get the feeling it's going to be an offload if something is created. Slap down from Jesse Ramian. Gutherson has a go at it. Edric Lee picks it up.
Yes, he was trying to offload Val, but it was touched on the way through by Jesse Ramian.
Brad, you got to pack as a hooker. You got to get your arms over him. The shot clock's off. Just sort it out. Andrew. Brad. Brad, put your arms over him, please. Thank you. Andrew, bind in. Thank you. Just
Brad Takarangi getting a lesson because he has no clue what to do. He's in there at hooker. Right alongside him in the front row was guess who? Clint Gutherson. The game has changed, Kev. Here's George Jennings. I'm not sure what the idea of Gutherson packing into the front row is all about.
Well, they were trying to get a quick scrum, so he was there on the spot to get them packed as quickly as he could.
And he got the ball back anyway. Here is Manor. He'll play it 5 metres out from the line. Goes through Moses. Norman. Edwards coughing it up. It's not knocked on. Comes back here for Clint Gutherson. And he'll play it just outside the 10. Pritchard is back out there. Charging hard. Ma'u. Brayley there. Too little too late, though, for Parramatta. Pritchard looking both ways. Sargent going left. Gutherson on a great ball. In fact, it might be better than great. It's terrific, but French didn't get it down in the in goal. It looked like it came down on the chalk.
I think he did.
Try.
I reckon try on field. Kevy Walters watching this with bated breath, having predicted this man would get a double here tonight.
Here we go, gents.
What about the pace he showed off the mark? It was a great ball from Gutherson. Bit of hang tying up in the air. Oh!
As close as that. He knew as well, French.
Yeah, I think when he knew straight away, didn't he? He's too honest.
Bevan French remains in the field of play, however loses possession over the goal line. We have a decision.
Well, it doesn't matter about being honest. Billy Slater was honest. He got a try. So it doesn't matter. But, geez, he did well to even get that close.
Well, Billy got a try because it was all okay.
Yeah, but he said no. So it doesn't matter. You can say what you want.
Close for Bevan French to getting try number 2 tonight, and potentially that might be it for the Eels. It's been a listless performance, and they have really reverted back to type to the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season, haven't they?
Yeah, agree, was. The way they've attacked, admittedly, yes, they've gone back to the way of conceding too many errors. Therefore, they haven't had any possession. It just zaps their energy. So they've had no spark in attack, no intent, no purpose in comparison to what they've done in the previous 2 weeks.
Telly playing it for Cronulla. He works it forward. 2-try hero on his return to the NRL tonight. So Yarrow, it's a fair route to meet him pretty quickly. Speed there from Manu Ma'u along with Kaiser Pritchard, but time is the Sharks' friend at the moment. Precious seconds ticking away here for the Eels as we go down to almost the 8-minute remaining mark. Brayley at dummy half. Both Yarrow and Brayley staying on the field. Over Capewell, that was clever. Got onto Manu Ma'u and then almost linked up with Matt Moylan.
He's a good young player, Capewell.
Holmes fires it out to Latelli, puts a grubber in behind him. Holmes may well have been offside, in fact called exactly that by the referee. Doesn't matter though. Gutherson cleans it up. Oh, George Jennings, Matt Moylan. Not noted for his defence, but came out of the line there pretty quickly.
He's muscled up the last few weeks. Matty Moylan getting better with his decision-making too. It's really tough going from fullback to all of a sudden defending 3 in on an edge where most back rowers target you.
Moiro has got through unscathed after missing the last couple of weeks with concussion. Now Norman on this left-hand side. Takarangi off Edwards. French puts the brakes on. Enormous speed though. Just beats defenders so easily when he wants to. But into a dead end there. Jesse Ramian. Broad shoulders. Thick chest. Reeled into the turf. Moses puts it up. They've tested out Valentine Holmes right at the death. Perhaps the first legitimate bomb he's caught tonight, and he brings it back with interest. Turns Moses inside out. He runs straight past Gutherson as well. Valentine Holmes. There's some icing on a cake of celebration here in Cronulla tonight.
What a run, but I think they're going to check it.
Yeah, I am. Horse. Tackle 1. I'm starting to try due to broken play. Can you please confirm if there's an obstruction or not?
The Gutherson threw his hands up in the air. He pleaded for it straight away. It's Moroa that tries to get round Matty Moylan.
What do you think, Gaz?
Matt Moylan interferes with the Parramatta defenders and takes any opportunity away from him to make a tackle on Valentine Holmes. We have a decision.
Pretty easy one, really.
Yeah, which is it.
Moiroa not given a full chance there and had to try and contend with Moylan, who was in front, importantly, in front of Valentine Holmes, and that's why the red lights come up.
And it's a shame for Sharks fans because that would have done all sorts for Valentine Holmes' confidence. He's come on in leaps and bounds tonight. He's looked sharp. His timing's been really good.
Of course. Yeah, it's all right.
And there it is, Moroa. Just couldn't get round Matty Moylan, but he just looks so balanced. He glides Valentine Holmes when he's in clear space. And then what about the show and go at the end?
There's a great little bit of movement there from Holmes, but you need every opportunity to make your tackles in this game, particularly on a guy like Holmes. So penalty certainly the right decision there for the Eels.
Ziggy Persha-Adamski blows time back on. I just like saying it. Thought I'd throw one into the back end of the game. Played it all game to say Ziggy Persha-Adamski.
There's 2 now.
He'll be happy, Zig. Kenny Edwards, he loves a mention. Pritchard at dummy half. Goes through the hands there of Gower, and at the death. David Gower is going to crack them. And what a flocked off here, Cronulla. That was pretty soft, wasn't it?
Yeah, right through the teeth of the Sharks' defence. They've got 5 minutes still left on the clock. The Eels still giving themselves a chance. And Moses converts. Here it is here. Gower just straightens and threw a bit of soft defence there from the Sharks. Yeah.
David Gower, just their second try of the night. Bevan French scored all the way back in the 12th minute.
Time staying off.
They've had some big gaps between tries, especially through the opening rounds of the season this year. So they come back to kick off. The Sharks take a look at this live ladder as things stand at the moment. The Warriors that win over the Tigers, moving to 14 points, just beside the Dragons there in second place. The Panthers remain on 12 with that loss to the Cowboys. Melbourne can move to 12 and into third position on for and against.
Stay on, guys.
With a victory tomorrow against the Dragons. That is our marquee matchup. Big game of the first 9 rounds, that's for sure. The league leaders up against the defending champs. Live on Foxlet tomorrow at 2 p.m. from Cogra. Bringing it back. See what they've got here. I'll try in this set in particular. You never know, they might give us a grandstand finish. Still trying to the death. Manu Ma'u. Shane Flanagan certainly hasn't banked the 2 premiership points as yet. Chance here on his right hand side. Good hands from Moses to Jennings. Just outside the 30. Play 5 here. Big metres off the back of this set from points. Now Ma'u, 20 metres out, last tackle. It's Norman going to the line, has Gutherson out the back. Here's a real chance. Gutherson throws the dummy. They'll drag him down half a metre short.
Well, that was their best set of the game by a country mile. He could have gone through the hands, Gutherson, but what about the intent and purpose? Terapo off the kickoff. Ran like his life depended on it. They rolled upfield. Manu Ma'u got a quick play the ball. There it is, 2 on 3. Probably should have played long, but when he double pumped, he knew the intercept would have been on from Ramian. But what a set from the Parramatta Eels.
Really stretched them. It was a close run thing. Gutherson had support out there on the left-hand side. Decided to throw the dummy. It was an all-or-nothing play, given the predicament they find themselves in. I think the Sharks, if they can work it away here, try and just find touch. Conservative. Sigayaro kicking from inside the 40. One play early. Give the Eels a chance here. Good field position, and they're not quite done with yet. Still 3.5 remaining. 12 is the difference. Moses. Across to Michael Jennings. Moylan a miss. Barely hanging on was Isaiah Feki. Otherwise, Jennings was away one-on-one with Valentine Holmes. George Jennings will play it. From Pritchard, it goes to Norman. Into the line here, gives it off to Gutherson. Now take a rungy back on the inside. Is he thinking about finding a wide receiver this time? No, he just pops it out the back. Comes back to Corey Norman. Matt Pryor keen to put him on the ground, couldn't do so. Now he does. Oh boy, that's an effort after the call of hell. Well after the call of hell. And Norman gives him a bit of a shove to go on with as well. Moses slipping over. We'll play it here, just outside the 10. Norman rubbering, a chance. Michael Jennings! He plants it down. And they're alive. Back-to-back tries. An important kick, though, coming up for Parramatta.
A huge kick coming up, but the modern NRL game, it is never over. Corey Norman just lackadaisically goes to the line, drops it on the left foot, and Michael Jennings just goes right past Latelli. No urgency there, nor from Feki. And what a kick we have coming up.
Well, he made that look easy, Norman. That was a beautiful piece of work from him to just thread that ball through, and the weight on the kick as well. He made it look really easy, but trust me, that's a difficult play to pull off.
This just has to go over. And Moses taking his time, gets the flags in the air. And they have a chance. And we have seen it before.
We have. Look at Brad Arthur. He'd be sending out the message, what's set to play. Kevy, what are you thinking? Shift?
Well, I think let's do the same set they did then. Running hard, a little bit of shift, a couple of offloads. you know, Jennings and these type of players, they are match winners. Gutherson, French, there's enough talent there, as I said earlier. In the two halves themselves are very creative and dangerous with ball in hand.
The Sharks did this 2 weeks ago against the Panthers. They led pretty comfortably in that game, and Penrith almost snuck back to steal it from them at the death. Parramatta with tries in the 74th minute to Gower, 78th to Michael Jennings. They've got a chance right here. 6 plays from their own end. They'll begin here just outside the 20. They'll play it there through Matangi. That could be the perfect set. Gower rolls it through the middle, and the Sharks respond defensively. Here's Manu Ma'u running towards Matt Moylan. He brings it back to just about the halfway line on 3 plays. Pritchard, what energy they've got suddenly. Here's Norman, first man play for Edwards. He gets it away, looking for an offload. Taken down inside the 30. Quick play the ball. Pritchard, Norman. There's going to be some space back to that right-hand side if they can get it there. Norman still standing. 50 seconds remaining, and they have one more play. Maybe this is it. Takarangi at the line. It goes through Moses. Comes away to Moiroa. Fends away from Moylan. Keeps it alive. Jennings for Moses. To the corner. Moses! Moses will score and has a chance to send this to golden point.
Can you believe it? It's outrageous.
It is outrageous.
They've gone 100 metres again. You mentioned it, Kevy, hard running. They got themselves in the right position. They had a big shift out to the left-hand edge. Corey Norman played the ball. They went out the back, kept it alive, and Mitchell Moses, sheer pace, gets around Matty Pryor, who was trying to cover out in the centres, and plants the ball down. Well, if the last kick was big, what's this kick? This is huge.
There's the siren. It sounds, and after regulation time, this man, Mitchell Moses, what a play. The offloads to keep it alive, they just kept on coming. Moiroa did enormously well. And they are like cats on a hot tin roof up there in the Eels coach's box.
Understandably so, after being 0-6, winning the last 2.
Kicking at 70% for the season, but out near the sideline, still has a bit of a breeze blowing over his left shoulder, helping this kick to straighten up. To send it to golden point. Mitchell Moses, it swings away to the left-hand side, and the Sharks get home by the skin of their teeth. They have hung on to win. Moses is inconsolable. His teammates swamp him. They went so close to giving us one of the great finishes in the regular season we've ever seen.
Well, they did give us a good finish anyway. Unfortunately for Eels fans, it didn't turn out going into Golden Point, but what a comeback it was. The Sharks, though, courageous, brave in defence, controlled the football better.